Hi and welcome back to the Rideshare Buddy YouTube channel. My name's Kevin and today is a ride along video. It is 10 to 4 and it's New Year's Eve. So we'll see what happens at New Year's Eve. I'm just going to shoot off and do a charge up at Tesla. Do a 90% charge, or I'll do 80% just to start the day off. Then I'll set the mileage, set the time, and we'll see what we do. I have 4 advanced personal bookings for tonight, and then if I get anything on taxi caller, I'll set Bolt to comfort, and I'll set Uber to comfort and priority. Unfortunately, we don't have Uber Comfort in Newport, as I've said before, so it's probably going to be mainly priority, unless I'll get some jobs out to Cardiff. In fact, I might go to Cardiff and see what we can do after I've got these personal bookings done. I'm not going to stay out very late. I may stay till 9, possibly 10 o'clock. I'm not going to be around when the drunks start going home. It's not what I'm interested in. So we'll see what happens. But let's get off to Tesla, get charged up to 80%. And then we can see how much fuel we've used during tonight at the end. Right, so we're at the Tesla, just plugged in. The temperature's 12 degrees C. Starting at 40%, I'm going to take it up to 80%, and it's going to take 48 minutes. It might go a little bit faster than 61 kilowatt as the battery warms up and the charger warms up, but 58 minutes. So the time is 10 past 4. So I should be running by about 5 o'clock. So my first hour since coming out has been driving to the charger and charging up. I'll work up until about 9, so that's going to give me 4 hours, and then we'll come back and see how long it takes to charge back up to 80%, and then I'll be able to see what sort of amount of fuel I've used for the amount of money I've taken. I'm not expecting to be too busy tonight, to be honest with you. The weather forecast is an amber alert out, so I don't expect too many people to be going out tonight. I think a lot of them will stay at home and crack open a few pints. I think tonight's going to be a night where a lot of people will stay at home. They'll open up some champagne and some wine and maybe order in food. I don't see many going out and risking being caught out in quite appalling weather later tonight. Weather warning in effect from about midnight onwards. So 2025 is going to come in with a bit of a bang, quite literally. Be interesting to see how many Uber drivers do take part in the strike. I'm going to be packed in and gone by 9. Well, I'll be back at the charger for 9. I don't mind taking people out to the pubs, not so happy about bringing them back. So, plus I want to be back at home for midnight myself for our own celebrations. So let's see what happens, and I'll get back in touch as soon as we've done a charge. So I was just thinking a little bit more about this Uber strike today. Really, it shouldn't cost drivers any money, because absolutely all Uber drivers I know are multi-apping. They're working for Bolt, or they're working for a local company, or they're working for Vaso, or something like that. So all they have to do is switch off Uber, switch on that other app, and when passengers can't get an Uber, they'll go and get a local company, or they'll go for Bolt or something like that. So the drivers will still be doing the work, passengers will still be being picked up. The only difference is that Uber will be taken out of the block. But I don't think most Uber drivers think that way. I think most Uber drivers think, I've got to make money from Uber, even though there's no money to be made from Uber anymore. So really, there's no real reason why drivers, if they're stuck together and just didn't do Uber between 8 tonight and 8 in the morning, should lose any money, because those passengers still need to get home, and what they'll do is they'll just use another company to get home. And if you're multi-happy, you still get to work anyway. You're just knocking Uber out of the loop. But I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see what happens. But I think a lot of Uber drivers, big chunk of them, will just look for the money for the night and not worry too much about what the future brings. They don't look that far ahead. So I've still got another 9 minutes to go. I'm at 66%, averaging 36 kilowatt hour now, also 36 kilowatt. There's a bit of a blue haze over Newport on Uber. Central Newport has a little bit of surge, or they claim there's a little bit of a surge. We'll see what happens in a bit. I'll wait for a few more minutes and I'll knock on the Uber app and the Bolt app. I normally switch it on 5 minutes before the charging finishes, just to see what comes in. It just had a couple of jobs popped up, only paying about £1.5 a mile. So it's not going to be particularly great. I mean, both jobs were 5-6 miles away. No, one was 3 miles away, the other was 4 miles away. One was paying £6.20 for a 6 mile job in total, and the other one was £7.40 for something like 6.8 miles. So it's not going to be great. Certainly not going to be up to the levels that I'm getting from my own work, which is time and a half, which is what you would expect on New Year's Eve. I mean, a lot of places will be charging double time tonight. And with Uber, you're lucky if you're scraping £1 a mile. I think it's finished, to be honest with you. I think it's down to the drivers now. The drivers can finish Uber just by walking away and saying no more. Or they can carry on working and Uber will be justified in reducing fares even more because there's people out there willing to work for it. But if Uber drivers want it to stop, there's only one way to do it, and that is walk away from Uber. There's plenty of local companies out there, plenty of other app-based companies like Vezu and Bolt that you can go to, who are paying a little bit more, and just walk away from the lowest payer of the lot, which is Uber. Okay, that's the charge completed, 80%, 213 miles in the tank. Cost £13.56, and the time is 22:05, so it took 34 minutes 52 seconds. Okay, first job just come in as I was unplugging and doing that little bit of a thing. £12.90 job. So let's start the clock and start earning the money.
In the cracked up pavement, dandelions grew like a vow from a world that wouldn't let us down. On an empty schoolyard, the summer was new. We talked about bands and ways to leave this town. We laughed and lied, debated and confided, tried to fake it to get by. Back at Johnny's house, his folks were out. White lightning struck like a golden blaze. Everyone went crazy. Everyone was there that night. A grown-up kissed in a twilight haze. We thought we'd had it. Damn, I'm sure we did. Have we let it slip away? just a heartbeat away. Still another life. Have we let it slip away? In an endless dusk we prosper, when everything was bright and new. A crew of jokers and believers, moonlight dreamers, moonlight dreamers.
Okay, so that's it. It's spot on 9:15. That's 5 hours, 4 hours work and an hour charging up earlier. And I have with Uber 89.81 and with my own work 38.62 or something like that. I'll have to check. But the app I use is on the phone that I'm recording with, so I can't see it offhand, but it's about £38. So that makes about 140. What is it? 80, 90, £128 thereabouts on 5 hours, which includes an hour's charging. So not too bad. I'm going to head off now to Tesla, which is going to take me 10 minutes. I'll do a charge up and we'll have a look at the stats on the miles and stuff like that when I get there. And we get a bit of light so you can see my wonderful face. Okay, so we're back here now. So let's have a quick look at the stats. I'm not going to include this second charging session on my hours because normally I wouldn't charge up like this at the start and end of shift. Because I charged up at the start, I would normally do another charge at my next shift. So I'm not going to include this. I'm only charging up here now purely for the video to see how much energy I've used. So let's have a quick look at all the stats. Okay, so I did £128, 96.6 miles, 4 hours, well, about 4 hours, 2 minutes it was, plus the 1 hour earlier charging, giving me 5 hours and 2 minutes. 47% I've got left. I've got it on level 3, trying to warm up the battery, so let's take that off. So I've used 33% of the battery. I've averaged 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Now that includes having the heater on at 20. So let's have a look at the energy use that we've had. So 80% of that energy was driving the motors, 7% was for the heater, 6% was for the lights. Let's get rid of that, they'll come back in a minute. There we go. And 0% was used for recharging the 12-volt battery. So let's get plugged in and let's see how long it's going to take to get home. Okay, so it should take 28 minutes to get that 33%. Was it 33%? Yes, 33% charge back. It's going to take 28 minutes to take me to 80%. Then we'll have a quick look at how much it costs once it's charged up. Okay, so it's charged. Just to our final rundown. It's 96 miles. Well, we did £128 on 96 miles, 5 hours. Well, 5 hours to 2 minutes, something like that. Average 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Back at 80%, 213 o'clock. It was at 12 degrees, and it took 21 minutes to charge. Replace that 33%. And I used £10, 10 pence in electricity. So that's all the stats for tonight. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, hope you have a really prosperous new year. Excuse the straggly look. I am in fact growing it out for a future video, which will be coming out shortly once I've got a bit more scruffy, and we'll do that. And till next time, have a good New Year. Hope things went really well for you if you worked this New Year's Eve. If you didn't, I hope you celebrated well. So till next time, thanks for watching. Cheerio.